wish a void opened in the air. Just suck me up, cause I really don't care. While I'm falling, I wondered if you would miss me when I'm gone. While I'm falling, I wondered if you would miss me when I am gone. I feel so hollow, hollow inside, hollow inside. Promise me everything, promise me everything, but please don't lie. Disappointment echoes in my brain. Anyone would really go insane. Empty hands promised me everything. Gave me nothing in the end. While I'm falling, I wondered if you would miss me when I'm gone. While I'm falling, I wondered if you would miss me when I am gone. I feel so hollow, hollow inside, hollow inside. Promise me everything, promise me everything, but please don't lie. When I fall, would you miss me at all? I feel so hollow, hollow inside, hollow inside. Promise me everything, promise me everything, but please don't lie.
Oh, damn, it's going to be a short stream today, but for those of you who live in America, Merry Christmas. For those of you who haven't assimilated to American culture, fuck off. Oh, man. I remember back whenever I worked at Walmart, they told us we weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas, you have to say Happy Holidays. Kiss my ass, man. Kiss my fucking ass. Merry Christmas, everyone. I think we got a few game things, a lot of new Epstein stuff. People figured out that you could drop the Epstein files into Adobe Reader and it would unredact the files. Fun shit. So, we got Asmon doing that for about 30 minutes. We're gonna, I don't know. We got some other things to do. Merry Christmas, Nigel. Hope you're doing all right today. Hope you have a good holiday as well. Hope the family's doing well. Hope the son's doing well. Hope the wife's doing well. Hope everything's going well, man. We about to kick this year off and be done with this year. It feels like we blinked and the bitch just went by, doesn't it? It feels like we blinked and it just ended. Just ended. There's just nothing to it. It kind of shocks me how fast things are going. Next year's gonna be a big year, man. I got a lot planned. We're gonna be doing the exact same thing, only I'm gonna be getting paid for it, hopefully. That's the plan. I'm just grinding out views now. Damn. Battlefield has a new thing coming out already? That's crazy. What? 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 You use the controller? Oh, it's new Rumble features. Oh, that's cool. I have the older version of that headset, actually. I have it hooked up to my computer. I got the old version. See, like it's got a little wear to it. It's just a little wear to it. I have to. These suck. The ear cups on this suck so bad that I have to wear the hoodie. Otherwise, it fucks my ears up. It makes them hurt so bad, dude. So I found out yesterday that Dr. Pepper is root beer and Coca-Cola mixed. It's mind-blowing. Something got fucked up here. Uh-oh. I wonder if they know that their shit's bugged. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Hideo Kojima is possibly video gaming's best known auteur, and whatever you think of him, whether he's a creative genius or a nonsense peddler, a visionary innovator or frustrated film director, a food pervert or regular pervert, one thing is indisputable. He's off his nut, and smuggled in amongst all of his groundbreaking works are a long list of daft ideas that he somehow managed to get past the ostensibly sensible people who were supposed to keep a leash on him until they fired him. Allegedly. Or he got...
He didn't get fired, man. Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute, hold on. Look here. He didn't get fired, he left.
Sick of them and left. Allegedly. Look, he was the guy who made Konami's best stuff, right? And they either let him walk or they pushed him out. Either way, not very sensible at all, as it turns out. But that left him free and unfettered to make the daftest thing of all, which is post-apocalyptic paranormal postie simulator Death Stranding, starring your man from Walking Dead, your man from Late Night, and your man from Jeff Keighley, which leads us, in celebration of his boundless genius, to this here list of completely stupid things that Kojima got into a shipped game. And frankly, they're all news to me, because my boss thought it would be funny to make me make this video, because he knows I've bounced right off every Kojima game I've ever tried to play. Jim keeps going on about Oblivion and Assassin's Creed and all that. Let's make him write about something that he's got absolutely no idea about. Number one, dude shitting. Everybody does it, okay? Everybody poops, but Kojima's got some kind of weird fixation on it, and I do mean a fixation. This particular stink kink goes all the way back to 1994's Police Knots, an acclaimed cyber-noir visual novel with a serious story about time displacement and organ trafficking, in which you, as the player character Johnny, can drink too much milk during a dinner scene at the start of Act 2 and spend much of the rest of the game suffering from diarrhea. Okay, that's funny. That's pretty funny, unless you're lactose intolerant, I guess, in which case it's still pretty funny, but directly at your expense. But Kojima doesn't stop there. In an apparent throwback to Police Knots, the Metal Gear Solid series is full of guys named Johnny who keep cacking their pantaloons.
That's for Metal Gear Solid 4, by the way. That's the one I want them to remaster so bad. It's such a great game. Oh, it's right there. Guns of the Patriots, yeah.
This crap is given mechanical justification within the game, making guards themselves.
Bro, how you shitting over that? Like, Bro missed.
Via various means obviously works as an effective distraction while you're sneaking around. In Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, it's possible to find a cassette recording of a man loudly defecating for an uncomfortable length of time. As well as being a reference to Kojima's long-running IBS joke, this too has a mechanical purpose in that you can play the recording while hiding in a portaloo to discourage passing guards from checking on you. Why did
That's fucking funny. What? Yo! Oh shit! It's Sheikah! Happy Christmas Eve, man! Happy Christmas! Merry Christmas, bro!
Jobby on a military base? I'm sure there's a lengthy in-lore explanation, but I haven't found one. But for fans of dudes spending way too much time in the can, Death Stranding includes a baffling mechanic where you craft grenades out of Norman Reedus' shit. A mechanic that involves watching him curl one out in the premiere inn he gets to stay in between deliveries. How is that real? It's made worse by the fact that he looks like a guy who hunts and kills a lot of his own meat. Number 2, the pea mushrooms. We all know about the pea mushrooms.
Yep, the pea mushrooms.
Death Stranding's implementation of this particular body fixation of Kojima's has a long history involving many Metal Gear Solid characters wetting themselves or having catheters fitted for various and barely justifiable reasons.
Yep,
But
Metal Gear Solid 2.
I can't spend this entire video talking about poo-poos and wee-wees, and it would be funny, let's face it, but I would really like to move on. For the love of God, let's move on. Number 3, cockpits. The mechs in Zone of the Enders, called orbital frames, are advanced humanoid combat suits that incorporate some design elements from real-world jet fighters.
I don't know this one.
This is an established trope visible everywhere, from Robotech to Transformers to Lego Ninjago, or as it's pronounced in the Cotswolds, Ninjago. What sets?
I'm fairly certain I think it did, but I'm not 100% sure. There's no way to track it. That's what's weird about it. There's no way to track donations. It all gets like lumped in. It's so weird.
Is an elaborate and persistent visual pun where the cockpits are cocks.
Don't stress about it, man. Seriously, don't worry about it.
Cocks. My auto cue won't move to it. Cocks. Move. Cocks. Thank you. Supposedly, the in-universe reason for this is to keep the human occupants of orbital frames as close to the machine's centre of gravity as possible, so they're less affected by G-forces when pulling off...
Oh, so they literally gave this machine a dick. Okay, I see what's happening here.
But obviously, the real reason is that someone found it funny to have mechs with big silver erections, regardless of what is or isn't getting pulled off. And in fairness, they're right. It is funny. I've got no notes. Number 4, incessant codec calls.
Yes!
I know this is sacrilege in some circles, but Metal Gear Solid's reliance on codec calls to impart reams and reams of exposition, often interrupting the player to do so for...
But he does it in a way where you're not reading it and you have two characters that you can move simultaneously. Like, you can move her Olga and you can move Raiden with the right and left thumbsticks while this is happening. It's so, like, who comes up with this kind of shit, man? I know who. Somebody putting big-ass metal dicks on mechs, that's who.
Time is, and this is a hill I will die on, crap. I know that Kojima is a genius and his work on building video games into a bold narrative force is invaluable. I won't deny it. Without Metal Gear Solid, you don't get Assassin's Creed or Splinter Cell or any number of smart, story-driven action sagas of the 21st century. But the codec calls are, paradoxically...
In Metal Gear Solid 4, you get to actually fight as Zeke. You're Snake, and you take over Zeke, the old Metal Gear from Metal Gear Solid 1, and you fight Ray from Metal Gear Solid 2. It's so fucking sick.
One of the worst storytelling devices in the history of
I think, besides Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid 4 is my favorite game. Like, seriously.
They're long, they're boring, they're visually uninteresting, and therefore cheap. And they often just kill the pacing of what is fundamentally an interactive hobby. Games writer Steve Burns said it best in an article about MGS2 on Vice about 3,000 years ago.
I mean, it is particularly galling to have the main character's girlfriend calling you up all the time to bemoan your relationship and demand a 20-minute conversation about all squared. That's not just her either, that's everyone. There are so many callbacks and in-jokes and useless information in this stuff that it's like sitting on Wikipedia and pressing the random article button for 12 hours straight. What's the point? Get on with it.
Now, Burns is a prick, but he's right. Number 5, Solar
Oh,
Hell.
damn, it's cross current. Merry Christmas, man. Merry
Ways
Christmas.
to interact with his games beyond the confines of the screen. The most celebrated example being the Psycho Mantis boss fight.
I loved that boss fight. The first time I actually got to experience that boss fight in high school on an original PlayStation 1. And it took me at least 2 hours to figure out that you have to unjack the controller and put it in the jack 2 and beat him that way. It was so fucking, I was like, that's so cool. And I figured it out, funny enough, because of the Kodak. I had to, like, you can call if you're stuck, and I called around, and I figured out that if I unplug jack 1 and put it in jack 2, based on what the people were saying in the codec, that's how you beat him. It's so cool.
Players are taunted based on their playstyle and the contents of their memory card in an unsettling display of fourth wall breaking shenanigans, and requiring you to physically change controller ports in order to neutralize his psychic abilities. Or the infamous MGS3 fight with The End, who can be beaten in a number of fiddly and annoying ways, or you can just set your console clock to 2 weeks in the future and have him die of old age.
Yep.
The ideas aren't always very well thought out. Consider Boktai, The Sun Is In Your Hand, the Game Boy Advance vampire stealth action game, which was designed with the noble goal of making gamers go outside.
Oh, that explains the coffin! Oh my god, the coffin! The coffin that he's dragging! That's the coffin in Metal Gear Solid, and Death Stranding 2.
Inclusion of a gameplay critical UV light sensor. It makes sense, right? Vampires die in sunlight, so allow the player to use real sunlight to defeat vampire bosses. Except this mechanic was unforgivably at the mercy of the player's location and local weather, and you can forget playing the game under your duvet at night, which is the optimum handheld scenario according to me, Jim Trinka. It was also subject to hardware failure. The plastic cover on the solar sensor can fog up over time, making the game unplayable unless you take drastic measures like drilling a hole into it or simply playing something else.
Jesus.
With the fact that the game launched in North America during the autumn, and you have a recipe for one of the most frustrating gameplay experiences of the early 2000s. Number 6.
Oh, dude, I saw something funny. He had a solar nut, guys. He had a solar nut. That fucking loser. Okay, I'm done.
Of the early 2000s.
That was my one like kid joke for the year.
All of it. Even Death Stranding's most die-hard proponents have to admit that it's a difficult sell. TV actor Norman Reedus traverses a barren North America as a postman for the biblical end times, except it looks more like rural Ireland.
Man, I was so disappointed in Death Stranding 2. The first game was so good, but the second game, it just feels like there's no point to its existence. I'm sorry, I don't want to say that. I would have much rather figured out what the backstory was with the BB than his retarded wife. I didn't give a fuck about his wife. His wife wasn't even in the first game. Who the fuck cares? I would have preferred to figure out the backstory of BB and what happened whenever she got taken by the goop.
In America, and the whole gaff is full of undead horrors and terrorists that you have to either avoid or engage with some mediocre third-person shooting, all the while comforting a crying baby that is also your ghost radar. And Jeff Keighley's in it for some reason. It's all about rebuilding...
For some reason? Hey man, calm down. It's okay.
Logistically and emotionally, by establishing vital connections between disparate settlements and working passively with other players to build...
I did like one mechanic in the new game. I like that you can capture the BTs and use them like fucking Pokemon. I think that shit's really cool. I do. I actually really think that's cool. But that's like Kojima at its finest, yo. Like,
infrastructure and other means of conquering a harsh and hostile landscape. And there's a load of Metal Gear Solid style bollocks going on, featuring big name actors, product placement, toilet humor.
They took that away. That's not there anymore. They don't have Monster Energy drinks there anymore. They rebranded it because they were tired of paying Monster so much money.
It's a fascinating and multifaceted game that is deliberately designed to be arduous in order to make players feel the thematic weight of bringing a...
It wasn't even that bad. Once you get the first vehicle, it's so easy. Like, you can make it arduous, sure. Or you could just play it the smart way or the normal way and just get a vehicle. By the way, another thing that's really good about Death Stranding 2, the vehicles are so much better. They're so, like, it's not even a quite, they're so much better.
Civilization back from the brink of chaos. And from any angle you look at it, it is an incredible piece of interactive storytelling. It's bold, it's brave, it's brilliant, and yet, it being designed to be arduous has the unfortunate consequence of it being arduous. Like Metal Gear Solid at its worst, it is a horror show of terrible pacing and overwrought, indulgent writing that takes a lot of commitment to love. And yet, one of the climactic battles of this moody and contemplative postman simulator turns the game into a Street Fighter round in a puddle of mud. Complete with 2D fighting...
And you know what's crazy? In Metal Gear Solid 4, you fight Ocelot the same way. That's why, to me, it was a throwback whenever you fought Higgins like this. It's a throwback, because in Metal Gear Solid 1, you fight Liquid on top of Ray. In Metal Gear Solid 2, you fight Solidus on top of Outer Haven. In Metal Gear Solid 3, you fight the boss in the flower area. In Metal Gear Solid 4, you actually fight Ocelot the exact same way you fight Higgins both times, and in Death Stranding 1 and 2 on top of... Well, you fight Ocelot on top of... I think it's a Metal Gear? One of the new Metal Gears. And, like, you're fucked up, he's fucked up, and you guys are just old men fighting each other. Such a great game, dude.
Controls and arcade-style health bars, which is hilarious, and I personally like to think that the 40 or so hours of glacial bewilderment leading up to it is actually just an elaborate setup to this punchline, that at the end of the day, regardless of the sophisticated artistic ambitions that video games have accumulated over the decades, largely in thanks to Kojima, they are still at their most exciting when you're hammering buttons to punch out of someone. Are kind of stupid. And I think Kojima understands this more than anyone, which is why his work is enduring and endearing, and how one of the most popular Game of the Year contenders of 2025 is a sequel to the most boring game ever made.
Yo, this guy was pretty good, man. Hell yeah, IGN. Alright, that's enough of that. I don't think there's anything else. Damn. Fallout episode 2's already out? It's Thursday, right? No. Today Thursday? No, tomorrow's Thursday. It's not even out yet. So, people were figuring out that you could copy and paste the Epstein files into Adobe, and it was unredacting files. So we're going to be covering a lot of that, and then after that, after we get through with these like 4 videos, we're going to hit up a Midwest safety video, and then we rolling out of here for 4 days, boys. I'm not going to lie.
TikTok realizing they can just copy paste the redacted text to read what it says.
Oh, look at this pesky redaction. Let's just get rid of that.
What a bunch of fucking idiots.
No.
This is our government, by the way. And you expect these people to have our best interest at heart?
Hey, try it. We're going to try it right now. Open in Adobe. All right, now we're going to copy this. We're going to save it. And this is from the government website right here, justice.gov. One of the moment of truth. We're talking about this is the federal government, and they can't figure out how to put a black bar over some text.
Just for context, this is not all files, but on multiple PDFs, the government, instead of redacting the information using the Adobe function, they highlighted the text with the black marker.
Check page 41. Okay. I'm not sure.
Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ.
Suicidal. Defendants also attempted to conceal their criminal sex trafficking and abuse conduct by paying large sums of money to participant witnesses, including by paying for their attorney's fees and their case costs. Epstein also threatened harm to victims and helped release damaging stories about them to damage their credibility when they tried to go public with their stories of being sexually trafficked and abused. Why was that blocked? I don't know. For which Indictment Executory Authority acting on his behalf. Payments from this account totaling almost $60,000 were transferred by wire to young women. Why would this be censored? The law didn't say you can make an exception for that. It doesn't make any sense. They're redacting any mention of anyone outside the known circle interacting with Epstein. People want to know who these people are. I think that's exactly what's going on. Indictment, an attorney who'd represented Epstein for decades, represents Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and previously represented Donald Trump. So let me get this straight. The guy who was found to be wiring money, supposedly hush money, to these young girls.
Man, I bet there are people in the government right now shitting themselves with the fact that people are unredacting these. I bet the United States government is physically having an ass hemorrhage now that they're on vacation and they can't do a goddamn thing about it except sit around and watch. You want a vacation, you fat fucking old fucks? Take your vacation. The internet will take apart the rest.
Never got indicted. He left his job. He got hired by the group that represents
Those sorry sons of bitches really thought they was gonna get away with this.
The current defense secretary.
This doesn't work on photos, by the way.
And Donald Trump. The files that were released now just came out with his name selectively redacted from them. Somebody got caught with their hand in a cookie jar. The latest Epstein file drops are bombshell. Epstein personally negotiated contracts for Southern Air Transport, the CIA, Iran's Contradon running airline, and relocated its ops from Miami.
Well, apparently, allegedly, they had 200 lawyers sit down and redact these files over the past month. So, I guess that's what happens, man.
To a Columbus, Ohio military base to service his companies. The link straight... What the fuck? Bro, this guy, how is this guy able to do all this stuff? If he wasn't such a fucking creep, I'd be impressed. Knows everything.
He did it. He did it because the government wanted him to do it. And the government, in return, gave him everything he needed to set as many people up as he could to blackmail them. This isn't just some spare-of-the-moment fucking person. This guy was set up by the United States government. He probably had wires, he probably had money coming in from all over the globe. And this man was the epicenter, the core. We'll call him the blackmail core. He was there to set as many people up that were going to be in Congress, that were going to be running for president, that were rich, that were from all over the globe, to make sure that people stayed in check. That's how he got what he got. That's how he got some of the most expensive properties in his own fucking island. Oh, how do you think? The government was making sure this guy was covered, and then they fucking turned on him. Because that's what they do.
President, and they come to his house and they have a picture of the former president Bill Clinton in a dress. There's another photo. He's running CIA deals between Iran, the United States, Israel, and then he's funneling it to his own companies. Yeah, it's like he was the main character. Well, he was the main villain, okay? Part of Doge changes, canceled all of the Adobe user licenses, can't properly redact without Adobe Pro. Elon was the whistleblower all along. So are you telling me that the reason why we lose these, we not getting the redactions, is because Elon cut Adobe Pro memberships? Here's what's crazy about it, is that we found this out in like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. There's more. There's more, boys. We're not done yet. There's so much more of this, it's embarrassing. And there's new files that got released as well. So check out CoffeeZilla. W CoffeeZilla for making this. This is Asmon. We're gonna
thing that's happened. I just don't know anything about it.
The FBI just accidentally released 11,000 Jeffrey Epstein files that...
Oops. Oh, did you hit enter? Oh.
they hadn't publicly put out yet.
I ain't gonna lie, if I was working there and I had that shit on my computer, I would immediately just release it. I wouldn't give a fuck about I would sit in jail with a smile. They could kill me. If I got my hands on these files, completely unredacted, I would release these files on 17, 20,000. I don't even give a fuck. I would hire people and tell them this is for the greater good. And I would have them set up as many accounts as possible on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, on Facebook, whatever. And I would have these accounts set up to release these documents over a period of time. I would have thousands of these accounts, and I would make sure that Google did all the passwords for them. I would make sure that I wouldn't know, based on the other people who did it, I wouldn't know who they were. I wouldn't know how much information they put out. I wouldn't know how many accounts they made. And they wouldn't know me either. I would have this shit set up. No one would be able to figure out how many of these things were going to be released. The government would have to fucking systematically find each one of us. I would make sure that this shit goes. I would sit in jail and I wouldn't give a fuck. I want to see these fuckers get what's coming to them. And you want to arrest me for trying to put these fuckers out of business? Go ahead. I don't care.
Yeah.
But we got access to them. Mm-hmm. And at the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to access them.
I would fucking send that shit out in a heartbeat if it hit my computer. I would tell them that upright. I'd be like, don't make me do this, because if you make me do this, I'm going to release it.
Looks like it's
I want to see how to do it myself.
Of the files, but you can see right now that they've only released 7 data sets. And so myself, the guys at Jmail, and the guys at DropSite, we've been investigating this.
Damn, he's actually got the people that could read that shit looking into it too.
With them to kind of look at some of these files. And they got access to Volume 8 early. You would just type it in the URL. It wasn't like indexable on search, but you could just type in the specific URL and it would just come up. You could download the entire zip file, and that's
oh
what
my god.
We've been looking through it. I want to go over some of it because I believe some of
Bro got the DLC. Bro got the DLC early.
Contradicts the FBI's earlier statement that there's no.
Well, everything that they release contradicts what they previously said. This has been a really common factor for them for a while now. This isn't anything new or different or unique. This is the way it's been for a bit. Sure.
Evidence, or we did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. That's what they told us.
They did.
Right? They said, we've already looked through the files. You don't need to see the files back in July. Of course, all the pressure has made them.
And then remember, they didn't exist, right? That's what they said. They said the files didn't exist.
Releasing some of this stuff. And we believe that this was slated for release, but remember, they weren't going to release all the files yet.
They weren't going to release any. Let's not sit here and lie to everyone and ourselves and address the elephant in the room. The United States government was never going to release these files. It took one man to out-finesse the entire U.S. government and force these fuckers to release these files. One man. It's disgusting and disgraceful. Our government doesn't give a shit about us. They only care about their own fucking agendas.
Some back.
Yeah.
Well, we believe that these 11,000 files are part of what they held back, because clearly they aren't out, and clearly.
Well, they're obviously going to be part of what didn't get released. I mean, like they said. I mean, the thing is that I think it was either Ro Connor or Thomas Massey, one of the two guys that made the bill for having all this stuff come out and like go public. They said that there were 300 gigabytes of, I think that was the number, 300 gigabytes of data about Epstein.
Jesus.
So, I mean, I would assume that the vast majority of that is like is video files, right? Because that's how files like that get really big, is there's like videos and things similar to that.
Is it sad that I feel like we're only scratching the surface of these files? I feel like even if you unredact what's released, we're only scratching the surface of how deep this really goes. I guarantee you that there are files that we will never see. I promise you, there are files that we will never see. They will never show the light of day. We have no idea how many of these files were actually... Like, you have to realize that this happened around Obama. So they had like 10, 15 No, they had like 10, 15 years to delete anything that's like super, super incriminating to people in the government. So, like, let's be honest here.
But what I'm saying, Trump could have not signed it. Yeah, I mean, he could have not signed it, but then it would have happened anyway, right? I mean, he could have vetoed it or something else. But they could have gotten it passed and done it probably without Trump one way or another. And it's very obvious also that, you know, really, he was in a position that he couldn't really get out of. Like,
Trump was fucked. If he had not signed it, there would have been more people saying that he was involved with it. Trump was between a rock and a hard place. He had to sign it to keep his credibility for a little bit longer. If these files have anything that incriminates him, so far it hasn't been anything too crazy. It's been questionable for sure, but nothing like
already
condemning
lost the fight. And he reading of his like very think is because at least the for them. He never explained. He also said Vice President really by them reason that he any
because over 100 are redacted. I mean, already you can see.
Yeah, like there's just whole pages of just black emptiness.
Several files.
There's a good chance that the pages you see that are completely blanked out, those are probably pictures.
That were once again over 100 pages.
Asmon tried to copy and paste those into Adobe using the trick, and unfortunately it didn't work, and it didn't work probably because they're pictures.
Pages of redacted information. So it was all ready to be released.
Yes.
It's unclear why it wasn't. But let me caveat before we get into the material that this is a breaking story, and as such, I'm sure there's going to be some...
It's evolving, right? I mean, things are changing. Now they're explaining it, etc. No, we're going to go onto the file site after I watch this video, and I'm going to try and do the copy-paste thing myself. Because I don't know whether this is true or not, but I want to see if it's true. I want to see it for myself.
Pieces of information that we are interpreting or trying to interpret live. And because of that, I want to warn you to withhold your judgment on some of this stuff until we get more evidence. I'm sure...
I think that any of these pieces of information, even if somebody says that another person did something, I think it's grounds for evidence, but it's not grounds for proof. It's the same thing I said with Michael Jackson or like David. Everybody's in these files going to have a lot of
some of this stuff. I'm sure Todd Blanche, Pam Bondi, they're going to get asked about this because
you know what's really sad? You realize that YouTubers are breaking this stuff apart and looking at it individually and setting up everything they need to set up. They are talking to these sites that can decrypt these files and put this information out. Because as of right now, the United States government is actively going against some Americans' best interest by keeping these files, and illegally, by the way. You can't say that unencrypting these files is illegal because they're breaking the law by having them encrypted. So get fucked. But remember that in history, whenever it came to figuring out what was going on with these files, it wasn't these big-ass TV news companies that were doing it. It was the internet keyboard warriors that did this, that unencrypted some of the most encrypted and condemning files in the history of the world. It wasn't Al Gore, it wasn't fucking Donald Trump, it wasn't some person on Fox News, it wasn't CNN. It was a fucking dude in a basement figuring out that if I dragged and dropped this into Adobe, I can unencrypt these files. So the next time you want to call someone a basement baby, think about who fucking who figured this out. Someone who had enough time to sit down and not having to work a 9 to 5 and worry about, supporting themselves are the people that unencrypted this shit. YouTube has been one of the biggest gifts to Americans and to society.
Extremely damning, I think, what we see in some
It's
of
awful.
this. Specifically, I want to draw your attention immediately to the 10 co-conspirators that are mentioned in some of these emails in 2019. Now, this is just alarming stuff because prior to this, remember that all we really had was Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. That's the only people who have ever faced any charges at all. Ghislaine Maxwell, the only one who actually faced consequences, right?
No, of course. It makes you wonder. The United States government used this man. He obviously enjoyed it. Like, let's be honest here. He lived a very wealthy and lavish lifestyle. So did she. They're both pieces of fucking human scum, and they both deserve to be rotting in prison. The United States government used them and then immediately shit on them. Doesn't that sound familiar? It sounds like an Edward Snowden all over again. I mean, come on. Duh. And then they're gonna use as much of those redactions to protect themselves as possible, of course.
Apparently, there were 10
Watch, come to find out, Epstein didn't do anything, it was somebody else, and they tried to frame Epstein. Watch. That'd be crazy. That would be crazy, dude.
Now, the people who were sending...
I don't think that's accurate either. I think it's way more than 10. You don't have 1,200 victims with 12 people. There's no way. That's like 1 to 100. I mean, maybe, right? But
think about that. 1,200 victims. 1,200 victims. They must have been taking in people from all over the world. Some of the most powerful and elite people in some of the most powerful countries in the world knew this man. Let that sink in. Think about how big this really is. This could collapse whole countries.
Very unlikely.
To and from have been blacked out, but at the bottom we see that this is the violent crime section, crimes against human trafficking unit. And we can see that of the 10 co-conspirators, 3 have been located in Florida.
How could you, if you are somebody that works in that unit to stop these sickos from hurting kids, how could you keep this stuff either redacted or not talk about this openly in public? How do you live with yourself? Bro, I loathed the day that I had to walk into a child abuse scene because I was going to kill somebody. How? Like, I was terrified that I would end up, because I had to deal with that as a child myself. I tried to get help. My mom was so bold with it, she would send me to school with bruises on my fucking legs with shorts on and say, go let them see it. And you know what happened? They saw it, scoffed it off, and I got my ass beat even more. That is a very sensitive topic to me. And people that are in that unit, and you're not going to say anything to anybody. I don't give a fuck what you sign, bro. Like, at a certain point, you have to realize, like, where are your morals at? Holy shit.
Grand jury subpoenas, one in Boston, one in New York City, one in Connecticut were served. 4 out of the 10 are outstanding with attempts having been made. What is a wealthy businessman in Ohio? A lead is being sent to CV, and the remaining 3 are currently out of pocket. This is stunning stuff. Previously, we did not know how many co-conspirators were suspected of, or I'm not aware of anything like that. And additionally, some of the details on this are revealed later because we see this subject line. It says co-conspirators at the top. And it says blank does not need to head out. We made contact with blank last night in New York City. Blank last night in New York. Contact was made with blank, blank, and blank. By the way, I love how these potential co-conspirators...
Yeah, and also that's what's so weird about this is like, so this person, why is it that these names are even redacted at all? It's confirmed this person live in NY, and it's, what is this? We don't have a good address for this person. Attempts to Maxwell will be approached in Florida. Like, these names shouldn't be redacted. Because in the law, it said the only thing to be redacted were the victims and minors. And so, well, actually, it didn't in the law. That's even what the Department of Justice said, is that they said that the only thing that they're going to redact are the victims' names and minors.
Yep.
And everybody else's name was going to be published.
They have to publish
them. So what
them.
the hell is going on here?
I love how these potential co-conspirators are people who are being blacked out. Like, why? I thought the whole point of this was you couldn't redact people for personal information reasons or for public embarrassment. You could only redact on the basis of it being a victim. And I'm not sure how these people could possibly be victims here.
Epstein Files Transparency Act prohibits redactions, quote, on the basis of embarrassment, reputational harm, or political sensitivity.
So it does prohibit it. Okay, so then if it's being censored just because of some random reason, because, oh, it might make somebody look bad, it's literally against the law to do that. If the redactions protect CSAM victims, who the fuck is trying to unredact it? Yeah, nobody's trying to unredact people that are victims. Like, nobody wants to unredact victims' names. This is like a fake defense technique that some...
They're using whatever they can to keep these files as redacted as
like
possible.
Random...
Anything
Anyways, the famous who's now dead. Blank is confirmed to live in New York, was away for the holiday weekend. We did not have a good address, but an attempt was made in New York. Attempts are made to Maxwell today. Blank, you get it. Like, it's all the people they suspected this whole time are redacted, of course. And then they say, I do not know about Ohio contacting Wexner. Now, that's a reference to Les Wexner, the former CEO of Victoria's Secret. This is huge. We've long suspected that
I could see it. I could see it.
Co-conspirators. And obviously, the fact the FBI suspected it isn't a 100%
I don't know if that guy's still
confirmation,
alive or not.
But clearly, they were serving grand jury subpoenas. I mean, that must be who they're talking about, one wealthy businessman in Ohio, because later it's confirmed by this whole idea of Ohio contacting Wexner. And you can see at the bottom, this is from the FBI New York. When you get a chance, give me an update on the status of the 10 co-conspirators. This is really bad to know.
It's insane. Like, this is, I'm actually, is that us redacted, controlled, removed, or something, right? There are technically, whether it does or not. I mean, I'll have to go and look at it, try.
Earlier FBI, who's had evidence of this the entire time, or leads on it, has declined to prosecute, right?
Yeah.
Because this is what the FBI now tells us. Oh, don't bother. Don't worry about it. That's what they wanted us to believe in July. Fast forward to December, we find out there's 10 guys that they knew about since like 6 years ago.
And they didn't do anything about it. That's the thing, too. That's what's crazy is that they never acted on this. They never arrested these people. They probably didn't even do an investigation into it. Like, the fact that this happened, I mean, at the end of the day, I think somebody has to be held accountable for this. And that's the main concern that I have with this whole situation, is that, like, there really has to be like severe personal consequences for the people that were making these decisions. That's the main thing that I'm concerned about and I'm worried about, is that these people will get called out, they'll get embarrassed, but there's never going to be a point where they're actually held accountable for the things that they did. And that, to me, is a huge fucking problem. That is a massive fucking problem. Look at the people of the department that was supposed to be investigating this that chose to make a decision not to do that. Those are the ones that you can look at and say immediately, those guys are wrong.
I believe this is with Maxwell. The government actually wanted to refer to people at trial as co-conspirators of the defendant, aka Maxwell, for the purposes of a rule. And then they say Jeffrey Epstein, and then there are two names listed there who are going to be listed as co-conspirators. Again, who are those people? We were told that the only co-conspirator now is Maxwell, and if you don't believe that, you're crazy, you're a conspiracy theorist. But back in 2020, this was a idea not just promulgated by wackos, it was promulgated by who? The FBI themselves, the Department of Justice. Look at this. Co-conspirator question transcript. This is from USA NYS. They say, question, when Jeffrey Epstein died, a lot of people asked, who's next? Is the government going to hold people who are accused of helping him recruit these girls? Are they going to hold them accountable? And then the answer is, well,
exactly. Like, I mean, that's the main thing. Is the government going to hold people accountable? So they're not even doing anything about this. They're just letting it happen.
Well, I mean, they let it happen for how many years before Epstein got what he got?
Accountable, but with the only evidence against them is a note labeling them as co-conspirators. It's kind of tough. Well, the thing is that that's what's released right now.
It's not just a note. This is an investigation. These are files from an investigation. This is proof. That's what this is. It's not just a sticky note. This is an investigation that happened. These are court documents.
Now, that's what we know about for sure. Imagine what we don't know about.
Note that the original charges against Jeffrey Epstein contained a conspiracy charge. And
keep in mind, all this stuff is being released piecemeal right now. So it's going to take a long time, but eventually you're going to have this, you're going to have it come out.
Alleged that there were conspirators involved. Jeffrey Epstein couldn't have done what he did without the assistance of others. And I can assure you that our investigation is moving forward, except I guess not. Against everyone except for Ghislaine Maxwell, it got killed. Like, Ghislaine Maxwell was the only one who faced justice, right? Except then she got moved to Club Fed, to this nice prison, right? And by the way, that a whole interesting interview we saw happen with Todd Blanche, which is Trump's former...
Yeah, they were supposed to interview her and go through everything with her.
And it never happened.
For some reason, that never really got explained. There was nothing really to that. And it just kind of got ignored. I feel like after that happened, nobody talked about it again. Like, that was the end of it. It was over. She's in retirement. I mean, again, I have no problem giving her
She's on vacation.
Quality of life. Who was really nothing.
Immediately afterwards.
Exactly.
And while he declines to comment on it, he says something very interesting.
Why was she moved just days after you interviewed her, Mr. Blanche?
That's a Bureau of Prison Security issue. That
apparently he runs the Bureau of Prison Security. Here's an interesting little fun fact for you. The Bureau of Prison Security and Safety rejected her moving, and it was overturned by Donald J. Trump. Interesting, isn't it? Very interesting.
I will not talk about.
Did you have
Well,
any?
I thought the Bureau of Prison Security decided that she shouldn't be moved. Because I remember whenever they were choosing to move her, the Bureau, like all of the prisons that were deciding whether this person should be moved, they said, no, don't move this person. But then I think it got overruled by Trump.
Yep.
So, wait, what are we even talking about?
There it is.
Anything to do with it? Did
Sounds
you
like some
have
bullshit to
anything
me.
to do with it?
Let me finish. First of all, I am responsible for the Bureau of Prisons. So every decision that they make...
It's actually so crazy how big of a massive fucking fuck up this is. It is crazy how big of a fuck up this is. Because, again, the problem is that this has hamstrung all of the other initiatives that I think Trump has done, at least online, and especially with like a lot of like his more like stronger supporters.
I think he's right. Like at this point, Trump is a detriment to America first. He is. Like, let's be honest with ourselves. Even if Trump manages to end a war all over the world and get like 7 Nobel Peace Prizes, it's not going to matter. It's not. This is so condemning to the cause. It's just bad. It's just bad, man. Oh, well, you want this thing. Well, this guy did that and he wanted the same thing. And it's like, dude, that's not... It's going to be used as like cannon fodder. That's all it's going to be used as. It's going to hurt more than it's going to help.
Hasn't. It people are the average. All then why didn't matter. Obviously makes it that's clearly damaged. Truly good. Stopping, but will be brought to the traffic and fog. Not involved with is because
Lord have mercy.
Thing, seriously.
To the extent it misses to. But just let me talk about the security issue.
Yeah.
At the time that I met...
Last time I checked, if you're in a maximum security prison, it's harder for you to get dead, right? Especially if you're in like solitary most of the time. So what is this?
Maxwell. There was a tremendous amount of scrutiny and publicity towards her, and the institution she was in, she was suffering numerous threats against her life. So the BOP is not only responsible for putting people in jail and making sure they stay in jail, but also for their safety.
All right, so he's like, yeah, that's crazy. No, I'm not going to talk about that. But every decision lands on my desk. I mean, eventually he goes on to say that, oh, she was in so much danger. We were worried about her safety as a prisoner. I just got to say, there's a lot of concern about Ghislaine Maxwell all of a sudden.
I think that there should be a lot of concern, especially after after fucking Jeffrey Epstein killed himself, right? I mean, they should care a lot about the way she looks.
The bad thing is like, why would you move someone that could possibly do something like that to a less secure prison? Like, let's think about this for a second. She was safer where she was at. If she was going to do herself in, she'd have done it by now.
Yeah, absolutely, of course.
And I don't know where that came from. There's not a lot of concern about these conspirators that I guess we've swept under the rug, that we don't care about anymore since 2019. I guess we knew about them and didn't count people. Like, while Todd Blanche is concerned about Ghislaine Maxwell's safety and well-being, you've got Trump concerned about the people who are going to be unfairly implicated in the Jeffrey Epstein files, rather than worrying about...
I think it's fair to be concerned about that, and I think it's okay to come out and say that some of the people in these photos are not any sort of wrongdoers or bad actors or anything like that. I think that's definitely true, for sure. But just because you say that, that doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, I don't know, like that, I forgot.
Suggesting that too many of them were redacted.
I know there are a lot of people that are angry about
all of the pictures of other people, you know. But I think it's terrible. Look, I don't like I like Bill Clinton. I've always gotten along with Bill Clinton. I've been nice to him. He's been nice to me. We've always gotten along. Respect him. I hate to see photos come out of him, but this is what the Democrats, mostly Democrats, and a couple of bad Republicans.
It's funny that he says that because then Bill Clinton made a post saying that he wanted the full release of the Epstein files unredacted. So, like, if you want to mark some of these people and put targets on their back, and then their families or they come forward and say, hey, why don't you release the whole thing? Like, what did you expect to happen? You think they're just going to be your target practice? You think they're going to be your target dummies all the time? No. They're just going to rally more people to want the full unredaction of these files to the point where, like, if they keep doing this, I personally think that it's either going to go nowhere, or if it does, it's going to be the full unredaction of every single file. And it's going to have, like, even the victims' names. And I hate to see that, but so even the victims are just tired of it, dude. They're coming forward and saying, we just want the unredacted files at this point.
Everybody wanted this, not just Democrats.
Yeah, at both sides. There's a reason why it passed all three branches of the government.
Everybody was friendly with this guy. I think it's a terrible thing. I think Bill Clinton's a big boy. He can handle it. But you probably have pictures being exposed of other people that innocently met Jeffrey Epstein years ago, many years ago.
Now, I'll be honest, he gets off track from here, but the point he was making is that those poor, innocent, bankers who were meeting with Epstein, the poor lawyers who were meeting with Epstein, like all of Epstein's friends are just caught up in this unfortunate thing. And it's just such a reversal of what previously the DOJ and FBI believed. In fact, they believed it so much that they got a federal search warrant
That's a lot.
for the SDNY, and they got it. And part of the seizable data, part of the stuff that they
got a 15-minute response. Yeah, no, it was great that Trump responded to it, right? And he explained at least some of it. Like, I was actually expecting him to just not talk about it at all, right? Or refuse to answer questions about it. So it was good that he at least said something about it. But I mean, really, it's extremely condemning.
Demanded them to seize as part of the search warrant, which, by the way, I think you need some kind of like standard of evidence for. I'm not a lawyer. You guys can chime in. But you can't just get a search warrant without some kind of evidence that you believe there's a crime that's been committed. And part of it says evidence concerning the identity or location of co-conspirators of Jeffrey Epstein, including blank and Ghislaine Maxwell. So again, who is blank? Will they keep redacting the names of these?
Yeah, it seems like there were three people involved with this. Who is the third person?
Co-conspirators, uncharged.
I mean,
will they keep redacting the names? Maxwell.
Call me stupid, but that looks like an S right there, does it not? Like, does that not look like the very end of an S?
So again, who is blank? Will they keep redacting the names of these co-conspirators uncharged?
Like, at a certain point, this needs, like, the people that made this decision need to be held legally liable. They have to be held liable. And whoever told them to make the decision also needs to be held liable, or that person needs to be held liable. Somebody, I don't know, right? Needs to get arrested. What they did is against the law. The law said that they implemented the names.
Yeah, they have to release the names.
You're right. I don't trust the government. I think that they've, in general, if these files, like, what else were you? If one person's lying to you about one thing, then you can also assume they're lying about a bunch of other stuff, too. You don't even have a bit of a represented loudmouthers, independents like yourself. The Bernie bros may say they're mad, but these saying mad. So this idea that, like, it's a cope, really, because why is it that we're even having this conversation? And really ask yourself that this should have never happened. You're out here defending this and saying that, oh, well, it's not that big of a deal. It's not going to affect average vote. Come up with these rationalizations. I think that's very annoying. I mean, the numbers that says it's up, it's down, it's impossible to know. I really think it is. It's impossible to know.
Remember, and now they're saying we have no evidence to charge anybody. Clearly, they had evidence for a search warrant, and it's just completely ridiculous that some of this stuff is redacted and that we're viewing the rich and powerful people who are mentioned as the victims here. Now, that's all I want to talk about for now. Remember, this is a developing story, so there's, I'm sure, going to be more evidence that comes out. I will try to keep you updated. I'm probably going to cover more of this stuff in the future because there's so much here. But I had to get this out while it was basically not public yet. I mean, I think it's eventually going to be public. When, we don't know. But you can access all of...
Not trying to downplay, but what if all the unexplained redactions are names of people who are not U.S. citizens? Why would I give a fuck about that? Just publish it anyway, then. Yeah, so, like, they shouldn't publish the name because they're not a citizen? Who cares?
of it at
That's even more of a reason to publish it. Like,
I don't give a shit.
I'll leave a link.
Say less, man. I was already convinced.
Why do they care about that? Special, like the entire.
Because they're not a citizen. I don't give a fuck.
It makes it all very searchable, and
that makes it more of not my problem.
And finally, we just uploaded it on CoffeeZilla. I don't like to upload.
Time that they've released something, there's been something wrong with it. It's like the redaction stuff. I think that they're so incompetent that they get caught trying to hide things, and they're trying to hide so many things. You know, it looks like incompetence too. Has it ever? It's like a handful of, like, you know, first responders, FBI guys, and police officers. Like, they just don't do any other processing thing. Why is it that every single one of them is bad? And I'll tell you the reason why.
Let's move on from this. I think there's one more. Fuck, it's another 31-minute video.
This is the new one today.
The Justice Department has now released a big new batch of documents in the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. And these include new details about Epstein's one-time friendship with President Trump. Look, there is a lot to go through. We said it's like more than 10,000 pages, so we're digging through
that Melania? Jesus.
This is what is seen so far. In a 2020 email, an assistant U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York wrote that Trump traveled on Epstein's private jet, quote, more times than previously has been reported.
Jesus.
At least 8 times.
It's undeniable that Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump were close friends. Anybody suggesting otherwise is lying to you. They're lying to you because they like Trump. It's obvious that's the case. Now, that's not an indictment of Trump. It doesn't mean Trump is somehow guilty, but it means that they knew each other.
Yeah, I would think that if Trump knew him like that, like, to be riding on his plane that, like, as many times as they're claiming, he must have known.
To suggest otherwise.
Now, if he was involved, who knows?
And on a flight in 1993,
what are we
according
doing?
to the email, there was just
it's pretty
3
obvious.
passengers. Trump, Epstein, and what's described as a 20-year-old woman. Being mentioned in a trove of investigatory documents does not demonstrate criminal wrongdoing, a reminder.
True.
And Trump has not
Very
been
true.
accused of being involved in Epstein's crimes. On Monday, the president did seem dismayed that the release of any and all of these files, though, could harm the reputations of individuals he said, quote, innocently met Epstein. Now, remember,
I think that's accurate. I mean, that's true.
Yeah, but that's on them to come forward and make statements. Enough of this covering up. Like, you're covering up these sickos for these quote-unquote innocent people. Fuck that.
That's totally fair for them to say that and think that.
Man, they also signed into law last month.
If anything, they should be the people stepping up to release these files. And you know why that is? It's because they know that they had innocence and they can make statements saying how innocent they were. And them putting their right foot forward to try to make this right is the best thing they could do. Even for themselves, but not just for themselves, for the victims that they knew were being hurt.
The Justice Department to do just this, release the files.
I mean, I think that's removing context, personally. It's very obvious that he got pressured into doing it because literally to sign it.
Good.
He was at a party, and you ruined the reputation of somebody.
Too bad.
Shouldn't have been there.
As we speak,
Too bad.
CNN has a
Should have been running the country instead of at a party. How about that?
The documents just released. We are going to bring you the findings as they come in. CNN's Caitlin Polans is live in Washington this morning. A lot to work through.
The headline here is that the Justice Department released on Friday. There were just a few very scant mentions of
Boys, that's a Karen if I've ever seen one.
Trump, including in a picture collected with a bunch of other illuminating emails in the Southern District of New York. We're working on the case
She needs to speak to the Epstein files manager.
Against Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. This is after Epstein's death. And one of those prosecutors writes, I'm going to new to us, the prosecutor of 2020, the flight records we received here.
And this.
Yeah, the flight records. We already knew the man was on there a lot.
Want me to make the assumption. Okay, I won't make like
his or her supervisors or superiors in the Justice Department didn't want any of this to be on that private plane in the 90s. So many years ago, Kate.
It does. And the reason why is because there's a lot of reasons why this makes me really mad. And it's actually not because, like, yeah, it's because people got hurt, right? Okay, like, people, like our entire government and the because
they've been complicit in this. The entire United States government has been complicit with this because there's all these rich old fucks running everything that won't get out of office because they know if they get out of office, their reputation is going to be tarnished.
People in, you know,
they'd sooner die in their seat than give it up.
Like random, like, fuck, take action, just stand.
Is that it? Is that?
And the sad little job. There has to be
out in the trial, but it is a pretty revelatory document. And Kate, it's just one page right now. This is the one page.
Yeah. Thank you so much for.
Now, do you see this as
a hard job to redact these documents? Prosecution.
And so, let's be honest with what the FBI. Yeah, I think they should investigate. That's not how it works in mainstream media. Yeah, of course, he wasn't the president in 19.
Jesus, man. What the fuck is this?
We have our own reason document. Notice the spoken about the president up in 1995. It took him to the Dallas-Fort Worth airport. Reported some of the things President Trump had spoken about during the ride on his cell phone. Very concerning. He reported that he was a few seconds away from pulling over the limousine in a median, and within a few seconds of pulling him out of the car and hurling him to some of the things that he was saying, as caller chose not to do. Noted Trump consciously stated the name Jeffrey while on the phone and made references to abusing some girl. Blank was unsure who he was talking to, nor did he know who he was referencing. As Blank talked about his time meeting Donald Trump, redacted, I guess I can say redacted. I'd rather say redacted. It immediately redacted's demeanor went stone cold as redacted stated, "He raped me." Said what? Replied, Donald J. Trump had raped her along with Jeffrey Epstein. Noted some girl with a funny name took me into a fancy hotel or building.
Jesus.
That's how it happened. So that's fake as fuck. It could be fake. It absolutely could be fake, guys. You're right. It could be fake. But you know what you do? You investigate it. Excuse me, not investigated. And you figure out whether it's fake or not. It's fake until that you should. The only people that are going to automatically be like, I knew it, are people that just don't like Donald Trump. And that's certainly believe a random. Let's be honest with what the FBI. Yeah, I think they should investigate. That's not how it works in mainstream media. If you, I mean, like, what are we talking about? Making excuses? Do you? No, right? No, I think that counts. That is a great point, and but I would try to do my best, right, to figure out the conclusion. But you can at least have some information and try to figure out what happened to the best extent. Here's the problem: is that sometimes them being idiots looks like them trying to cover things up. And sometimes you figure out that they're covering things up because they're such idiots, because they're bad at covering it up. It seems really bad. Bill Clinton's busted. Why are we not talking about it? Well, Bill Clinton isn't busted. I mean, there's nothing. Oh, everybody wants. If you put but if there's no personal interest converging, then I don't think that it's incompetence. I don't know. Well, anyway,
I think that if this stuff keeps like putting out allegations towards Trump, he's going to be forced to release the full thing if he's not guilty. I do. All right.
Officers from the Ravenna Police Department in Ohio respond to a report about a stolen golf cart from Kent State University, leading to the most bizarre pursuit of their careers.
Hold on, give me a second. Let me grab a water. Bro stole a golf cart. Okay.
Officers from the Ravenna Police Department in Ohio respond to a report about a stolen golf cart from Kent State University, leading to the most bizarre pursuit of their careers.
There's no way this guy's really about to try to run from the police in a goddamn golf cart. There's no way, right? Surely. Oh my god, dude.
He's evading going on the sidewalk. It's gonna be
running a golf cart, bro! Yo, W Midwest Safety! No way! This dude's really running in a golf cart, man! I've seen it all now!
We're going west on...
Yo, those things go fast. That's not like a normal golf cart. That's one of those, like...
Central.
Fast ones. Those expensive ones. Bro, come on! Holy shit. Yo, I would love to get a house and see this shit happening outside of my house, dude. Oh my god, I would be laughing, dude.
Okay, he's going the opposite traffic. Try to cut him off.
He's going in the opposite of traffic! The police making it seem like it's a full-blown chase on the interstate. Yo, W role-playing points. Oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever fucking seen.
Hiking bike.
Oh my god, dude. Oh, this is good shit. Oh, no way, dude.
We're on the hike and bike trail going towards D Street.
Pull over!
Oh my god!
So he doesn't go on the road again, on the real road. Get out of the car now! Alright, let's try to box him, man, because he's not stopping.
He keeps weaving it out on each side. I can't really get around him with the narrow road.
Again, this is a reported stolen cart that the pedestrian that waving down said is from Kent State. No license plate, but
Pedophile ring cover-up by the very people who went psycho over Pizzagate? What the hell are you even trying to say?
I'm gonna try to cut him off here on Diamond.
No lock lick? I don't know.
He's going through the grass, going back to Cleveland Road.
He's going Cleveland Road. Turning on Lincoln.
Bro, I can't believe this golf cart's like...
We're on Lincoln.
Man, this guy is running, bro. He is gonzo. Damn, he's going.
Going on the sidewalk.
He's pushing that thing to its full capacity. I mean, that thing surely can't have that big of a battery, right? There's no way.
All the units to back up so we can box them up. Here. Right behind me. I'm gonna go on the sidewalk. Let's box them in.
Take 4 police officers to get that one little golf cart, dude.
He just hit my cruiser.
Oh no. The amount of damage that'll do. You gotta say one thing, dude. Knows how to drive that golf cart.
We need more units.
Bro, what a story you can tell your jailmate, dude. Like, how'd you get locked up? Stole a golf cart from a campus and went on a high-speed chase. No, he went on a medium-speed chase. I can just imagine the talk with the cellmates, like, bro, and you still got caught? You know you could off-road with that damn thing, right? Yeah, but I decided to stick to the sidewalk, so that was my fail.
We're still going eastbound on Lincoln. He's on the sidewalk.
He should have stuck where those railroad tracks were.
Approaching Chestnut.
That's where he should have stayed.
Speeds are
Follow those train tracks all the way until a train splits up.
North on Chestnut. He's on the sidewalk still.
Oh, oh, oh!
Still going north on Chestnut. Gonna be approaching the high school.
Oh yeah, the mailbox.
See if we can cut him
Yeah,
off.
dude, this is GTA. You're right. Yo, if he was in a city, he'd be gone, bro. He could have squeezed into some of those like alleyways and stuff. Bro would be gone.
20 to 400. We're going northbound on Chestnut.
There's not even a point to deploying stop stakes on that damn thing. It's not gonna do anything. Like, it's so funny. Like, this is hilarious, man. I'm sorry, this is funny. Yo, is it sad that I can see the guy in there saying shit like Jim Carrey would say? You just see him like kind of like how the Grinch was whenever he was flying the sleigh. He's just sitting in there like saying stupid shit to the police while he's doing stuff. Oh, sick jump. Man, just wait for that damn thing to run out of battery. It'll run out of battery eventually. He just sat there. He's just gonna sit there. He's just gonna sit there. He's like, no.
I got his arm. Hold on. Control. Control. We got him. We got him.
Jesus, man.
Man.
What a moron.
Idiot. What's your problem, dude? What did I do? Get up! You guys just stop me for no reason, man. Get up. You struck
What?
the vehicle, so let's start off
You
on
ran
that.
out in front of me, man.
I'm trying to stop you. You're not stopping.
For what?
That car's reporting stolen.
The cart's reporting stolen?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You guys got him? Yeah. Can you check my back of my car?
I love that. I love that this guy was trying to run, and he's acting like he's been the one that's wronged. What, bro?
Straight mark. Cracked bumper. Way to go, buddy.
He cracked
Didn't
the
you
bumper?
steal one of these already, or
Jesus.
for stealing stuff? All you had to do was stop.
Man, I didn't know you guys were gonna get all crazy like that.
When you don't stop and you're going on the sidewalks and you're not stopping for police, what do you expect?
I'm scared of police, man, because of the stuff that's happened to me.
Well, maybe you shouldn't be stealing stuff.
Stealing, running from us? You don't think that?
No, the police. I'm scared of the police now.
Just to verify that.
Oh, poor you. No one fucking cares.
They were not aware of it.
Yeah, they were gonna look for an event or something.
It wasn't even reported stolen.
I know, right? We need more videos like this. This is great.
Don't even answer.
It wasn't even reported stolen.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can't be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to have an.
Well, you know what would really suck is what if that was the wrong one? What if that was actually the wrong car?
Attorney present before any questioning. You understand those rights? Yes, sir. All right. Where did you get that?
Where did I get that?
Yeah.
I was adjusting the brakes on it.
But where did you get it at? Like, did you get it in Ravenna?
One of the maintenance man, I told him I was adjusting the brakes on. I drove it out here.
From Kent?
Yes, the brakes are bad on it.
All the way from Kent, you drove it out here.
Yeah.
Apparently the brakes aren't that bad. 6 miles away, dude. 6 miles away. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa, man.
Why didn't you stop them?
Because you guys, I'm like, why are they messing with me, you know? I mean, because I don't trust
You should have stopped, you... No, I don't believe that, dude. He's lying. He's lying. You going to jail, bro.
That golf cart was never reported stolen. It's not even Kent State's. It's got a Kent State sticker on it.
Got into a pursuit through half the city on this side.
I'm sure that sounded ridiculous over the radio. It was like the dumbest thing ever.
I was like trying to flip over because they were like, oh, I just went by Cleveland Road, and they're like, they're on Cleveland Road. I'm like, just going around.
Well, he kept going on the bike and hike, and then he would like go through the grass and went around.
He should have stayed on the bike and hike. It would have been way harder for them to catch him if he had stayed like on that area in the park. They would have had to try to get him on foot. There's no way, dude. But he's a dumbass trying to steal golf carts, so, I mean...
Yeah, some lady, like, I'm talking to him, some lady pulls up to me, she's like, hey, I work for Kent State, this cart, they're not supposed to leave the campus, it's stolen. I'm like, okay, and then I light him up, and he's like looking back at me like, and then I'm like, wait, that's Alan, freaking does not stop, so...
I got into a pursuit with him on a Skag lawnmower.
Yeah, I remember that.
There's no way. This dude is known to... He got into a pursuit with this man on a lawnmower? Bro, this guy is making the police around there a joke.
Where you tried to steal his dirt bikes and
I have permission. You guys, I have permission.
You know this guy's incoherent. He looks like he's schizo. Why would we keep letting these people out? Like, if you're that mentally unstable, you were around stealing lawnmowers and golf carts and going on high speed, dude, you don't need to be anywhere other than in jail or a mental institution. What is he, like?
Alright, you ready? To go backwards, sir, if we can.
a little bit more. A little bit more. Alright, we're good.
Because they don't want to hit your car now.
That was different. Never got into a pursuit with a
golf cart?
More of a gator, but yeah. I was like, man, how long is this gonna go?
Yeah, it looks more like a gator. Gators aren't really golf carts. They're for, like, hunting and stuff. Off-roading.
Hey, you guys, I had permission. I was adjusting the brakes. That's why I was...
Bro, you're schizo. Shut up.
I have permission from one of the employees at Kent State, okay? It's not even Kent
He
State.
just talked to a student. The student was like, yeah, sure, take it.
Got a Kent State sticker on it.
This is probably one of the silliest things I've ever been a part of. I don't know about you. You've been doing this longer than me, but it's kind of fun.
Oh, yeah, it even has the serial number on it. There's a serial number right here. It's got the serial number on it right here.
Longer than me, but it's kind of fun.
I chased a golf cart on a golf course before. A kid stole it, and they were joyriding, turning up the property, so we had to go on the golf cart and on the golf course and chase it down all 18 holes.
Did you get
Damn.
It was still fun.
Hey, sir! Sir!
So that means that they got to have a golf cart chase? Bro, where's that footage at? So you mean to tell me that the police got to use golf carts to chase down a golf cart? No shot. Yo, where's that footage? We need that footage.
It was still fun.
That sounds incredibly fun.
Sir?
I would love to buy out a golf course one day and just, like, have a bunch of people, like, do, like, Mario bumper cars.
Sir!
Hello? Hello? Hey! Hey!
That would make awesome content.
Sir! Sir! Sir!
Alan, I got a question for you.
It was never reported stolen.
Well, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Well, I never did anything.
You ran from us. I'm asking.
No, but you guys didn't have any right.
You know he had fun in that thing. There's no way he didn't. He probably had a big old smile on his face the whole time he was doing it.
I mean, the thing ain't stolen. I'm adjusting the brakes on it for someone. Then you guys run me off the road like for a stolen. Even if it was stolen, it's like that's insane what you guys just did.
If I was pit certified, I could have hit you.
Well, what I'm saying
and you
is
would have rolled over and it
no
would have
one
hurt
even reported it stolen. You guys are doing all that crazy.
Okay.
Hey, you guys, that thing has no brakes on it. You guys want me to stop. You guys are running into me, and no one even reported it stolen. This is wrong, and you know it. Please, sir, do the right
This
thing,
guy
sir.
is completely crazy. There's no way.
I mean, come on, man. Do the right thing. You're gonna do this to me. Are you serious? You know what? I mean, you know what? God's watching, and you know what? God is in my life, sir. Okay? God is, and you know what? I mean, I wouldn't.
He sounds like a 5-year-old, bro. He sounds like a toddler almost.
If I were you, I wouldn't do it. Okay? I did nothing wrong.
This suspect, Alan Bluehouse, was federally indicted by a grand jury on charges of failure to comply and grand theft of a motor vehicle. He ultimately pleaded guilty.
Oh, come on, dude. You know that thing doesn't have a motor. It runs on a battery. Give me a break. He pleaded guilty. After all of that, he pleaded guilty. He's in a mental hospital. Thank God.
Hospital.
He's where he needs to be.
The cop uses the bumper on the vehicle to stop someone from running. That's not anger, and it's not a mistake. That's called a pit maneuver. It's done for one reason, to end the danger fast. And in this case, that danger wasn't a car. It was a golf cart being driven like it belonged on a highway. In this clip, the officer used his car to block the escape, taking
W cops, by the way. W cops for not like hurting that guy for real. Like, whenever you have somebody that's mentally unstable, you have to handle them with a certain kind of care. And I will say, absolutely, W cops. Awesome cops. Their community needs them. And you know what? They deserve those cops. Those cops were awesome. They handled that awesomely. They didn't try to ram that golf cart. They didn't try to pit maneuver it. They didn't try to act tough with it. They didn't try to act tough with the guy who was obviously mentally ill. W Police Department, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are awesome. Keep doing what you're doing.
the suspect's mobility before that car crossed paths with the wrong person. That decision comes from training drilled in long before
Yeah, because like he could have, the way he cut the golf cart off, he could have hit the golf cart from the side and toppled it, but they kept trying to move in front of this golf cart. W decision for and it wasn't just this guy, it was multiple. W cops.
Mobility before that car crossed paths with the wrong person. That decision comes from training drilled in long before the sirens ever get turned on. In Ohio, departments like the Ravenna Police Department, they are legally required to have written pursuit policies and to train officers on exactly when tactics like this are allowed. The law states each law enforcement entity shall adopt a written policy for the pursuit in a motor vehicle. And officers shall be trained on that policy. Sometimes danger doesn't come loud down the road. It creeps along looking harmless until someone gets clipped, run over, or boxed in with no way out. And police don't get to wait for that moment to prove a point. They have to stop it before the what-ifs turn into names on the news. A moving threat doesn't need speed to...
I love that the cop asked him if it was worth it. Like, he wasn't even trying to get like a thing out of it. He's just like, dude, was it fun? Was it worth it? Like, let's think about it. Like, yo, W cops, man, what a great bunch.
Time. When a cop closes that gap, it's not about ego or force. It's about ending the risk before it picks a victim.
That's right. All right. W Midwest Safety. I'm rolling out of here, man. I'm tired. My fiance's got a half day. I'm going to take a half day. Merry Christmas to all. Make sure that you guys, I'll be back on Monday. Monday, bright and early. Will be a normal week on Monday, I think. When is New Year's? When does New Year's hit? It's gonna be next Thursday? Damn. But next week, man, I'll see y'all. Stay safe out there. Have a great holidays. Have great Christmas. You know, have a great everything. See you boys next Monday. So it'll still be this year. I'm out of here. Take it easy. Stay safe. Make sure your family stays safe. Make sure everyone's driving safe. No drinking and driving. I know it's the holidays, but death doesn't take holidays. So enjoy your time with your family, Nigel. I'll see you on Monday, bro. Take it easy. Have a great weekend. Have a great holiday. I am out of here. Peace.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad. I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm bad. Doing no cap. Only got one, so you better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad.
Yeah.
Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder, cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till it hits, I'm in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna